most people do lose their hard-earned capital in trading. Everything I'm sharing with you here is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I don't make any promises or guarantees that anyone can achieve a specific result. So let's get into it. Most people tend to overcomplicate this here. So I'm going to share with you just some simple lines, and I'm going to go through some real world examples so you can potentially use this in your own trading. You'll see just how easy it is. So basically put, there are trend lines that go just like this, okay, right here. Now, this is a simple breakout or bounce strategy here, and all I'm looking for, if the trend line is coming down like this, I'm looking for price to come here and then break out. And then this would be my entry right here, for example. All right, as such. And then I'll get into how I use my stops and whatnot here when I show you some real world examples. All right, so this is a breakout example if we're breaking this trend line up here. And then if we come down to here in this area, this is our potential buying areas. All right. These are potential buy areas, such as this. All right. The only other one I'm going to talk about is if the trend lines are coming up like this. All right. And if we have price coming in through here, this is our breakout down here, in which we would have a potential short position. Okay, like so. All right. And then the other potential scenario is if price came up to here, all right, and decided to reject there, we would have our short up here, like so. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm looking for. And then I'm going to go into a chart now and show you how I look for this on a daily basis and how simple this really can be. So let me back up here to today's price action. The only thing that I need on my chart is this sessions London, New York, and Asia. And all I have it here for is a visual. That's it. I don't really care much when, you know, the London Open's happening, the Asia session, all that. I just want a visual, so I'm not trying to connect my trend lines too far back. All right, the first thing I do on my chart is I mark off the 935 candle. I am on the 5-minute charts. And what I'm trying to do is connect my trend lines to in and around this 935 candle here. So I'm going to back up here. All right. And all I'm going to do is connect the dots going through my highs right here. All right. So I'm going to stop right here. And then I have something like this right here. All right. I can see this back here. All right. I'm connecting the lows up here. And I'm looking for that 935. If there was a 935 low right here, then I would just move that down, but there isn't, so I'm just connecting it right here. All right. The reason I didn't drag this line all the way over here is because when the 935 high forms, I want to pull this up to it. All right. And if I move this over, I can see that the 935 is right here, so I'm going to pull it in right just like that. Okay. So this was the actual market price movement for today. And again, I know it's easy to sit here and say, well, look at this in hindsight, but this does take practice, and you will have to go back and do this for yourself, just like any other trader in their back testing. And then it's important to try to, or at least for me, to apply it in the real market in forward testing. All right. So what I'm looking for up here is if there is a break of this trend line, a close above, and then a quick rejection back down, I am looking for my short right there, and I'm trying to get my stop up over that high. It doesn't matter. Anywhere above it here is what I tried to do or try to place, and I'm looking for a 2-to-1 right there. Now, that's a 2-to-1 there. Here is the breakout today. Right here, there's a close below. If you can see that right there, there is a close below. And then I'm looking for a short here and trying to get my stop over the candle there, or at least one candle back somewhere in that vicinity, and look for a 2-to-1. Okay. That is the very basics of it. Now, I did just take a trade like this, and this is getting a little more advanced, but this is really all that I need, to be quite honest with you. There was a position I took here as I saw this coming right down, just like this trend line, and I took it right off of the break right here of this 5-minute candle for a nice push up, and that was a quick 2 to 1 for me. All right, let's back up here to the previous day. And I'll just do a couple because this is really straightforward. There's really no tricks or anything really. It does take skill, but I should say that it's just straightforward. There's nothing here really to get into. All right, so if I go like this, I'm just connecting these lines right here. Okay, nothing's happening there. All right, now I know there's a high over here, but I'm not going to go back that far just yet. I am going to look at this right here. I like to stay in this green shaded area. Again, that's the reason I have it. I will pull in trend lines from here just to analyze further, but generally speaking, I'm looking down here and for the most part in this green area, but I'm looking at this right here, okay? And I stopped it here. Again, why didn't I pull it over like this? Because I want to find that 935 candle high, which is right here. All right, so there it is, and there's a high right here, so I'm going to connect it just like that, right to that high there. All right, super simple. Okay, so now if I were to, let's just say if I back the market up here just for a minute so you can see it, if I were right here, all right, in the morning looking at this, I'm looking at this potential, I'm looking at price to come up here and reject, and it doesn't happen. All right, it comes up here. All right, it breaks over this. All right, but I didn't get a rejection candle that closes back in. Now, if the market stays above this line for more than 4 or 5 candles, there's a higher probability, for me at least, that we're going to break out. If this were to have a strong close over and then close right back under, for me, that would be a rejection and that would be a short sell for me. All right, so we can see what happens here. As we play it forward, this is what happens here. All right, the market goes and just keeps going here. Now, if I go back here, I'm not trying to go into this green area. If I further analyze this, and I look at this high here, and I bring it down over to about 9 o'clock or 9:35 right in here, okay? It can be here or it can be there. All right, if I'm looking at this, where these two lines intersect here, all right, and I see that I don't have a hard pull back in it, I'm breaking both of these areas, this is a possible breakout trade for me right here. All right, getting our stop down below this low here, and then looking to see if we can get a 2R. Super simple. All right, that's a little more advanced, simply because we're looking for sells here originally based on the angle of this trend line. All right, coming back down here. All right, this is really easy. To come back in the green area, you can see right here, high. I'm going to stop right here, mark out the 935. Right there's the 935. So that's okay. It doesn't touch. And look at this. I come right over here like this. I'll zoom in. This is the 935 candle. All right. If this candle wick pushed up here, then I would have this up a little higher. But it didn't, so I leave it here. We close above with a strong close back below. So for me, that would be a short. All right. Stop above here and then down here. Now, look at this. Okay. If I pull this in from here, all right, I'm going to stop here. We're not at night. Here's the 935. There's no low here, so I got to pull it down. I'm just connecting my lows. All right. There is a possible breakout entry if we look down here. All right. This one here, if my stop's above that candle, it gets about 1.2R. However, decide to manage this. If I decide to get half out at 1R, or if I decide to move my stop to break even at 1R, it really doesn't matter. Or I should say, it just depends on how that trade is managed. All right, back up. I'll do one more because I don't want to be too redundant. This is pretty straightforward. You can see right here. Again, I'm looking over here, but I'm not going back to the second green area. I'm just staying right here. Looking at this. All right, I'm going to stop here. Why? Because I want that 935 high. All right, where's that 935 high? Over here's 935. So that means I got to pull this up to like this here. What I'm doing is I'm projecting where price may come up. All right, I'm looking to see, okay, if price moves up here, all right, that's where I'm interested. All right, now it didn't do that, but if I look below here, I'm connecting these. You see them? Connecting that. Now I'm connecting this. This is the 935 candle right there, so I got to get that low right there. All right. Super simple. There is a little break there, or it could be here, somewhere in this area. Right here, stop above this candle there. All right, quick 2 to 1. Okay, again, if price moved up, I'd be interested there, but it didn't. Came down and broke out, and that's my entry. I'll do one more. All right, let's see if they get harder. Okay, this is straightforward right here. This is coming down, if you can see this here. All right, I am going to mark out the 935 area, which is right there. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to drag this over like this. All right, now what I'm looking at here is where's the bottom. Here's a low, here's a low, here's a low. Where's the 935? 935 is right here, so I got to get that low. So we're like this now. All right, some of these will look a little wacky, just like this here, but all I'm doing is projecting where price may go. So in this area here, I'm looking for a breakout trade to take this up. That's what I'm looking for in this area, and I believe this one loses. Let's just double check here. All right, price breaks out. It does close here. I get a stop right there, and this one gets up to about 1.39 R. Again, depending on management, would determine what I do there. So one more. Let's see if I can find a winner. Let's go back one more. This one looks pretty straightforward. Again, back to the green area, looking at the low. In this area, connecting, I want that 935 low. Let's connect that. Let's go find that 935 right there. All right, so 935 low is right here. All right, right in that area. So this low is fine to connect there. And right there we go. Okay, we'll put the top of the trend line on. All right, I can go here like this. Okay, I can go like that, if you can see it, or I can go like this, if you can see it. Where's that 935 right there? So I want this. All right. So a couple ways to play this. All right. One, there could be a short in this area up here. Okay. Because we came above this trend line right here and we pulled right back into it in 1, 2, 3, and 4 candles. That's fine. Or we came right up to this upper projected area, had a red rejection candle, and then short. Or a safer play, here's the breakout right here at 945. Our stop above that candle or 2 candles back, it doesn't matter. All right, and then an easy 2 to 1. So I'm not going to keep going, but you guys can see this. You can back test it for yourself. This is this is a skill set that anybody can acquire if you just practice it. It does take a bit of discretion, but I wanted to share it with you all here. So here it is, very simple and straightforward. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.